Hi everybody, it is Amber Marie again. This is a special video that I'm doing. I received a gift from someone we all know and love, Christine from Stitch All the Things. I do all different kinds of stitching like you do, Christine, but I don't have the ability to fund my addiction like you do. Anyway, she had gone to do her thrift store shopping that she does, and I guess she ran across a book that is the best of just cross stitch from, it's a book made up of the magazine. But this book turned out had nothing in it that interested her. Now, as it turned out, the patterns on the cover were pieces that I had looked for the longest time. I'd seen a picture of them, fallen in love with them, and never was able to find the patterns. Now, after reading the introduction in this book, I found out why. The designer passed away in 1993, I believe it was, and the book was produced a year later as a tribute to her. Kathy Ricketts Livingston. I know she passed away in 94 as well. So that year they put out everything that she had ever designed for them, and it's just a beautiful collection. So I want to show you this amazing gift that Christine gave me. And for everybody that understands that she receives so many wonderful gifts and stitchy kindnesses from everybody, believe me, she gives as many. This may not have been a huge thing to her, but to me, it was a massive gift. She was quite happy to hear that it was not just that set of patterns in there that I loved. After looking through the book, I realized that there were several that I had looked for the longest time and could never find. So I was so excited to get this. When I looked through it, it just made it more exciting, and it turned out that my daughter Sarah also found one or two things in here she wants to make. So this is that book, and these are 4 of the 6 fruit patterns that I wanted to do over the years. Now, on the back it shows you where they did them as a long runner with all 6. It's very difficult to see because it's so small, but I just absolutely love it. And she included such a sweet little note that says, "Amber, I hope you enjoy, Christine." See? I will probably never remove that little post-it. It'll probably stay there forever. But I wanted to show you a little bit, hopefully better picture of that runner. They call it a bell pull. But let's see if you can see it a little better. So it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's all blended threads, much like doing a Teresa Wentzler design, which I love Teresa Wentzler's. But it has several others in it that I just thought you guys would look at and go, oh my goodness, that really does have such a collection of old school patterns that so many of us loved. And I was looking at these during the late 80s and early 90s, you know, back when I was a young mom, and it was kind of my heyday of cross-stitching for a while, that I just thought was so neat, and it really kind of addicted me to cross-stitch these pieces. Some of these pieces did, and it's hard not to love them. Now, one of the things that I love, although I don't know if I will ever stitch, is this piece right here. And it's such an old saying that we've all heard a million times, that says, "Make new friends, but keep the old. Those are silver, these are gold. New made friendships, like new wine, age and mellow and refine." Very cool. My daughter fell in love with the Lily Maiden and wants to stitch her. So Christine, you'll know which design she absolutely wants to do. And it's got quite a few seasonal patterns and children's patterns in it that aren't so much me, but they're really neat. They are very, very neat. But 2 of their holiday pieces absolutely have me. I don't really think one of them is holiday at all, because the heralding angel is also known as our angel of music in many ways, and I'm a former vocalist and musician. So I absolutely have always wanted to stitch her. The only thing I never liked about her is she has no face. So I will be giving her facial features, because that would drive me insane to look at that otherwise. The other one is, I happen to like cornucopias, and I had seen this one forever ago and never seen another one that I really loved, but I will be stitching that finally. I absolutely love that. So those are 3 that most definitely got my attention. One of them that was in here was kind of a ha-ha for me because it was something I'd wanted to stitch for my son Nicholas when he was a little boy. And he grew up too quick before I got the chance to. And that's okay. It's not something he would have really, really loved and gone crazy for. But it's something I really loved. And that was this. The Noah's Ark sampler. It's a very old version of it. And it's the one that I just have always loved. Always. Sorry about the glare from my light, guys. But it's just such basic colors and so pretty. And the other one that my daughter is nuts for, she loves rainbows. And she loves hot air balloons. Always has. So you can tell she'll be stitching that up. And she wants to do the boats. I don't know if she's doing that for my son or her son. He's former Navy. My son is. Not her son. He's only 4. But, yeah, I mean, there's just so much in this, folks, that is so nice and so beautiful. And, Christine, it's such an amazing gift. Such an amazing gift. And I will be stitching from this for probably the rest of my life. Because there are things in it that I will just absolutely want to do. Some of the things I would want to alter because they just don't quite suit me or they're not really my colors. But I guess all of us do that with some things. I'm not a big sampler person, but there are actually a couple in here that, with a little work, I would do. Like this one. I happen to think that's absolutely pretty. I just think the colors need some updating. So, that will probably eventually get done. And that's called the Psalm 100 sampler. For anyone who's curious. Excuse me. It is high winds here in Phoenix, and so it's blowing pollen everywhere and making it hard to breathe. So please forgive me for that, but I'm very, very, very congested. It's just one of those things. So, and there are a bunch of wedding samplers in here. I'm never getting married again. Thank you very much. This one's more than enough for a lifetime. But it does. It's just really filled with some beautiful, simple, and some very not simple patterns. I'm looking for a particular other one that I wanted to show you guys before I close this up because it's really quite a neat pattern. I'm not one for Christmas ornaments. I am not a Christmas person. I'm a Halloween person. I lost 2 very beloved souls in my life very close to Christmas, and it makes Christmas really difficult for me. Really difficult for me. But before I show you that one, I want to show you this with Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy. Now, you have talked about how you see some of these samplers involving children, and they're not racially diverse at all. This one was made back in the 90s, and I thought you would get a kick out of this because it is very diverse. Look at that. Actual, reasonable representations of different cultures. I just thought you would get a big kick out of that. I quite like that. And maybe eventually for my grandson we'll do that, but we'll see. So, I thought you would get a big kick out of that one, Michelle. Because something that is racially diverse is from so very long ago. And yet these new things aren't as diverse, and this is the time where diversity is so pronounced. And such a big subject at this point. So, there is a Christmas ornament in here, and they're all very cute, believe me. But there's 2 in here that I like. One that I will do as it is, and the other one I will be changing a little bit. This one, oops, let me get this where you can't see the patterns. Okay, this one of the copper bells I will be doing as it is. Now, I love poinsettias. My grandmother loved them very much, my grandma. But my favorite are the white ones with the pretty painted purple tips. So that will turn into a white poinsettia. Yep. But those are some of the things that were in this book that I just am so blessed to have had given to me. And I wanted all of you to know that such an amazing thing. Guys, look at your thrift stores. We really don't have this kind of stuff in my area where there's a lot of cross stitch or anything like that in there. In fact, I've never seen any. I don't get to spend a lot of time going shopping, obviously, with my fibro and everything, but you never know. But keep your eyes open because Christine found that, and it's something that it turned out she would never stitch, and it's something that I will stitch so much of. Christine, I'm again so thankful. And guys, her videos are really amazing if you aren't out there watching them. So her channel is Stitch All the Things. I absolutely think it's true. We should stitch everything possible. One form or another. And on that note, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. My thoughts and prayers are with you as always. God bless you. Bye-bye.